We appreciate the woos. We appreciate the woos here at Build. It's Kevin Kenny. We're live in New York City. And our guest today is streamed over 3.5, or I should say this, but way more than 3.5 million times per month, has 3.5 million fans per month streaming her music on Spotify alone. She's in town tonight doing a headlining show at Webster Hall. Please let's make some noise for Charlotte Lawrence. How are you, Charlotte? Can we actually run back the music video? We were playing the fans the music video, but this is so cool. Charlotte, while I was playing, was telling me something. But if we have that in the monitor, that would be really cool. First off, it's beautiful. It's really a work of art. And you're standing on you're sitting, I should say, on this like branch, and it's like a swamp almost. You were telling me a cool story about how that came to be.
Yeah, so basically, I'll tell you a quick story about the music video. The black and white shot of me singing the words the entire way through without blinking really was the first shot that we shot of the entire weekend. It was the first time I was just like, hey, how about we film my face saying the lyrics and you guys just like grab me. And everybody was like, okay, perfect, down. And then we spent 2 days going to Malibu and all around everywhere and had the most fun time. But basically the whole creek that you see is in this like the back of this hidden hike in Malibu, and my friend Tyler, who's directed the video and, you know, created the whole concept and everything, he's incredible. He's so talented and genius, honestly. He built a creek in Malibu he took 48 hours and dammed this little river. It's like behind a whole, it's so hard to describe. There's a restricted area and you have to climb over it, and there was a little flowing river, and he literally spent 2 days there damming it, to as tall as he was, and came back a week later and it was a full swamp.
The commitment to art, Tyler.
Dude, really though.
Incredible.
And nobody else knows how to get there. It's like when we all went there, he was like, nobody put your geotag on. Like no one let anybody know. It's like his little secret swamp.
Really Tyler's Creek.
Yeah, it's Tyler's Creek.
What was the creative vision for the video, though? I mean, I want to get into the song and the lyricism behind it, but is this almost like you being a young artist in LA and people wanting things from you? Am I being too on the nose about it?
No. I think, to me, the lyrics kind of spoke for themselves in the song, and I wanted to have a video that was very simple in a sense, but also said a lot without having to say a lot. And I think, people can interpret anything from this video, but in my mind, watching it, I'm like, it's society pulling at me, it's people pulling at me, and the things that are wrong just kind of grabbing, surrounding me. It's all that I'm thinking about. It's all that's on my mind. And as you see, it's like fully emotionless as these people are wanting stuff and grabbing and whatever. And the whole background is just like,
Well, I like what you did, because you'll talk to a lot of bands and they'll say if there's a great storytelling song, they want to minimize the noise so you can focus in on the lyrics. And I think that's what you accomplish here, where there's not a bunch of bells and whistles necessarily. But that's not to say it's not a beautiful video, but the subtlety of it really brings you into the story.
Thank you. I just, when I wrote these lyrics, I so soon realized that they were very important to me, and I hoped, they would affect other people the way that they affected me. And that sounds very pretentious because I wrote them, but I don't know, they meant a lot to me. They still do mean a lot to me. So with the video, I just kind of wanted to simplify it and create something that all the video does is just add to the lyrics and, make you understand the lyrics a little bit more and listen closer rather than create another storyline, if that makes sense.
No, and to me, let's get into the lyrics, because to me it reads as a timestamp of Los Angeles, California, 2019. I mean, was that the goal? Was this a stream of consciousness? What did you set out to do with this song? It
was a stream of consciousness. Funny story is, when we started writing the song, the first line that we created was, "God must be doing cocaine." And it's a very crazy statement to say in the title of a song, 100%, and I recognize that. But when we first were writing verses, we were kind of speaking about, everything going on in the world, such as climate change and hurricanes and all this stuff, and I loved it. And we wrote, honestly, probably 40 verses to the song. But as I started thinking and writing more, I wrote it with John Ryan and Julian Bonetta, who are incredible musicians, so talented, produced it, wrote it. But as we were writing it, I was like, I don't want to speak for anybody else. I don't want to feel like I'm preaching anything. All I want to speak on is what's surrounded by me, what I see every single day, what my friends are doing, what I'm doing. And I was like, write what you know, so that's why the song is kind of like LA 2019. I wrote about, my stream of consciousness of what I see every day, what I experience, and what goes on around me.
It's funny because you're from LA, right?
Born and raised.
Like, I feel like even people that are from LA, or people that move there, it's a love-hate relationship. Like, everyone almost secretly hates the place.
Oh, completely.
What is your personal relationship to that city?
I think that it can go both ways. I think that, as every city has, it's like you have bad people, you have good people, you have positive things, negative things. I think LA, the really cool thing about it is it's so creative and it allows you to be just 100% you and follow your dreams. But
does it? You don't feel like there's pressures to like not be you at all?
I think in a sense, honestly, the one great thing about LA that I'll like die hard say for the rest of my life is that it does allow you to be creative, and people from around the world will move there to pursue their dreams, and whether it be in acting, singing, painting, I think that it's such a creative space that it's cool to go and experience and be inspired by people and inspired by your surroundings. But then, when you have that, of the people that are in it for the good reasons and, want to be inspiring and passionate and pursue their dreams, you also have the people that are like shitty people that that are in LA for the wrong reasons and want to be famous or want to social climb or this or that and money, whatever. So it's like, you have both ends of the stick, and it's like, yes, although creative and cool and inspiring, you also have the pressure and the sort of feeling like you need to do something, whether you don't want to do it or not. I don't know. It's a very love-hate relationship. I think growing up in LA, though, I have a great, base. I love my family so much, and I love all my friends that I grew up with. So it's like, with that's my home. You know what I mean? So I've kind of been able to navigate the city, but I get people moving there, like, instantly hating it.
Yeah. Well, I think, like you touch on, I think a truth where it's like there's purity in any scene or movement, and then there's like what I like to call like the Xerox copies of that movement, and then eventually you're just like, dude, what are you doing?
The slashers.
I mean? Yeah, totally. I was talking to an actress, Rachel Matthews, last week. She's in this movie Frozen 2, and she grew up in LA too, and she was saying that like the proximity to the entertainment business and just like being around Southern California and that city kind of gave her that bug early on. Did you have that bug early on to just get into music or entertainment or modeling or what have you?
Not necessarily. My parents did a very good job at keeping all of us kind of like out of the light, if that makes sense. And it's hard to say because yes, they are in the entertainment business, but I lived in like a very family vibes town, and like we just did nothing and kept to ourselves, and all I wanted to do since I've been 4 years old was just play piano and sing and write and do that, and it was so surprising.
Why piano? Sorry to interrupt you, but why piano?
I just thought it's so beautiful. I've been obsessed with like sad music and slow music since literally I've been 5 years old. It's been my favorite, so I always wanted to just play beautiful ballads and songs.
Right, which is, I think it's like the perfect time if that's who you are as an artist, because I think for a long while in the music industry, to be a young female artist, you couldn't really write sad songs. That wasn't the most marketable thing. You kind of had to be this like cheery, like everything
100%
awesome pop princess.
No, 100%.
But now it's wide open because of a whole slew of reasons. So it must be just incredibly liberating for you. It's
very fun. I feel like in this day and age, another compliment to LA and the industry is musicians, especially young female artists, have the freedom and empowerment to feel like they can sing whatever they want to sing, and people are accepting it and loving it, and it's so cool. And obviously, not that people's reactions should decide how you make your music, but it is cool that it's like the world is kind of accepting this whole young female, emotional, real, vulnerable whole thing of music, and I love it. It's like, I mean, obviously with a song, it's like my favorite thing to do ever.
Well, that's what stuck out to me just listening to the song, is like, it's such a great song, and I think it's an important song, and it's just a song that you really couldn't have written 10 or 20 years ago, like being the age you are, being the type of artist you are, like you would have never been able to make the song because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So it's just cool to have that sort of freedom now as an artist. And I want to just trace it back a little bit to your journey. And a really pivotal moment, at least that what I've read, is this Hollywood Bowl show with the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah.
Why was this so important to you?
It was one of the first times I ever performed. Natalie Maines is a very close friend of mine and is kind of a mentor to me. She's very close with my mom, but I used to sing all the time around her when I was like 13 years old, and she'd always help me and give me advice, and still to this day it's like I'll send her all my unreleased songs, and she'll give me advice on it, and advice about the music industry. And it's so cool to have somebody like that. I feel grateful every single day, and it's like ridiculous to me because I love the Dixie Chicks and I always love them. But yeah, she invited me to come up on stage and sing a Lana Del Rey song with her when I was like 15 years old. And I was so nervous. I was backstage like shaking. I had to have somebody else put in my in-ears because I just like couldn't do it myself. I was so nervous. And then right when I got on stage and had a microphone in my hand, I was so calm and happy and like euphoric almost. I looked out in the crowd and was just like I couldn't believe that I was doing that. And then from that point on, I was like, this is all that I want to do. I want to perform and sing and, do that. And that was like the pivotal moment for me, honestly, because I'm a very, extroverted person in the sense of like, I'll talk to anybody, I'll make friends with anybody. But when it comes to, real stuff, like vulnerable stuff and, emotions, which is all my songwriting, it's like, me pouring out my emotions, I'm very closed off in that sense. And I was always so afraid of performing and like sharing my music and all that stuff. And that was the one night that I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to work my ass off.
Yeah.
To be able to sell out the bowl on my own.
And it's, and you're well on your way. It's such a but it's such a beautiful moment in anybody's life when you realize like, oh, this is why I'm here. And it seems like that was the night for you where you're like,
100%.
oh, this is who I am. This is why I'm here. And then it's kind of a lot.
Because sometimes you need a little slap in the face.
Yeah.
Of like, whoa, this is crazy. Okay, I get it. This is what I want to do.
How big is Lana for you? Because I know you're around the same age as Billie Eilish, and I know like Billie's said sentiments before in the past of like none of her generation would be here if it wasn't for Lana. Like, would you put that high a praise on Lana?
100%. I think, there are few artists that you can confidently say, oh, there wouldn't be 200 of these artists without this one artist. And I think Lana is one of those people. I wouldn't be here without Lana. I think she created her own genre, honestly. Like, she created her own genre, her own vibe, her own like aesthetic, everything that is so different and beautiful and new and amazing and vulnerable and just the softness of everything that she does and the simplicity. It was never really done before, just by like a single female artist with, and I don't know, I just think she's so cool. I could go on about her, but yeah, I think that she created a movement in a sense, and there wouldn't be so many young artists without her. And I think our generation's Lana is Billie. That there wouldn't be the next 500, young artists without Billie. Yeah.
Well, and it's cool to see Billie cross over onto top 40 and cross over and to be this bona fide pop star now, because then it allows, again, it kind of liberates the market, if you will. Not to be too inside baseball, but do you know what I mean? It kind of like, oh, now we can finally make all this music. And you were saying before, like, it's not about the reaction or the validation from the audience, but I do think it affords you the opportunity to have a career that's authentic.
Completely.
Right? Where in the past, maybe you would have had a career, but you had to be a little bit of a...
Yeah, that not even that you have to, but that it's just like the thing that it is.
Yeah.
Is like, oh, to be in this music industry, you got to do this, this, and this. And now it's kind of like, oh, wait, we have Lana, we have then Billie, we had Avril Lavigne, too, I think is one of those artists that like created this whole movement of like punk, cool girl, pop star. But yeah, I mean, Billie, yes, is younger than me, but I still look up to her. I think she's so talented and so incredible. And she inspires me daily with her music and her vibe and her aesthetic, and that she's 100% herself. And again, going back to what we were saying about writing music and feeling free to do that, it's such a cool feeling to look up to somebody that's younger than me in a sense and be like, wow, her lyrics are so real and so cool and so vulnerable and so, unheard of in a sense. And she speaks about things that nobody else speaks about. Oh, I want to do that too. I want to be real and authentic and speak my truth.
Well, it's cool because you're doing that for fans too, and probably fellow artists as well.
Thank you.
Just making it cool, making it acceptable to do those things. And have you known Billie personally since you were younger, or did I?
She's a sweet girl. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right on. We're gonna get to some fan questions, I believe, right now. We have 2 from the audience here in New York, and we're first gonna come from over here.
Hi. How are you?
Hey.
When it comes to your amazing fashion style, where or who do you pull your inspiration from?
Jonah Hill, and I'll say that till the day I die. Dude, I saw him like street style with pink hair, tie-dye t-shirt, and like orange shorts on, and I was like, I'm gonna dye my hair pink. Fucking love tie-dye, love orange shorts. Literally dyed my hair pink. I just think I love him. But if I'm being like real, I love vintage and I love rock t-shirts. Love like vintage rock tees. I'm starting a little collection. Those are my favorite.
Do you have like an era that you wish you could like transport to?
Oh my God. Music-wise, ooh, maybe 70s or 80s. But I'm also very into 90s rock. I'm like loving the I mean, I've always loved the Chili Peppers, but I'm in like a huge Chili Peppers phase right now.
Yeah.
So it's
like
hard
early
to-
Chili Peppers. Like what kind of Chili Peppers?
Early Chili Peppers. John Frusciante Chili Peppers.
Yeah. Right on. They're LA. They're like an LA institution.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's get to one final one. It'll come from behind me.
Hello.
Hey.
I was wondering if there's any locations in LA specifically that give you inspiration for writing your songs.
Oh my gosh. Locations in Los Angeles. Angeles. The studio that I work at a lot of the times is in Beverly Hills, and this producer, Andrew Watt, who did Navy Blue and Why Do You Love Me, he's incredible, but he has this like studio in his house, and it used to be Charlie Chaplin's old house, and it was like one of the first home theaters, and he converted that home theater into a studio, and it's like so cool, and you walk in and you feel like the energy come off the walls. It's like it's so special. I don't even know how to describe it. It's so inspirational, and there's guitars everywhere and like pictures of Bowie and Prince, and it's just like right as I step into the room I feel inspired. But location wise of like places, I don't know. I love Malibu, but when I'm in Malibu I just want to like surf and chill. You know what I mean? But I have to like be in the studio really. Or when it's driving at nighttime, even though there's so much traffic, it's like I love the lights. I love the lights of the city. That's very inspirational for me.
Thank you.
You see Watts doing AMAs with Ozzy and Travis.
Yeah,
That's
it's
gonna be bonkers,
crazy.
dude.
It's gonna be wild.
Did not believe that when I saw it this morning. But as for you, Webster tonight, and then what can we look forward to just in going forward here and heading into 2020?
I'm gonna release a lot more music, an album in 2020.
Album important to you?
And
I ask like almost
very.
every artist that. but
100%.
Yeah. Why though? Because the answer sometimes differs.
I mean, I think a lot of people nowadays can be like, oh, albums are dead. Like, and especially my generation has like the attention span of 3 seconds, that if you're not interested by the first 3 seconds, like you won't.
Yeah.
And I've noticed when somebody said that to me, I was like, oh my God, if somebody releases an album, I'm like, click, zoom into the halfway.
Yep.
Oh, this is fine. Okay, click. And I
Yep.
go, you know what I mean?
That's
It's
me
like,
every New Music Friday.
literally, always.
Yeah.
But albums to me are like pieces of art, more so. I think every song is a piece of art, but an album is like a little bit of a artist's soul, because you're putting like a whole category of just your mind into this like one little thing. And I think with albums it's so important to be like so particular about them and so meticulous and finish every song exactly how you want to finish them. And that's why it takes artists like sometimes years to do it, because they literally are pouring their heart into this piece of work. And I don't know, I think they're so cool. And I think, especially when they're cohesive, or like you can tell what an artist was feeling when they were making this album, or if it was like different times of their life. I don't know. I love albums so much, and I want to be able to do that and put my mind into like a body of work more so than just like one-off songs.
Yeah. We look forward to it, Charlotte. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Again, good luck tonight at Webster Hall. It's huge.
Thank you.
God Must Be Doing Cocaine is out and available everywhere now, guys. Thanks one more time to Charlotte Lawrence.